on the team. When you have a larger team, you can afford to make more mistakes when you have a larger team. But when you know that someone is not going to fit that culture, when you know that someone is not going to carry their weight, you're going to pull down the morale of that team, the best thing that you can do is to cut ties with them and move on. Now, if anyone, the only time you should ever be embarrassed when you fire someone is if that person is surprised by their firing. I mean, you have to do these kinds of things. And let me tell you what happens. A lot of times our loyalty can get in the way. You know, we build a friendship, we build a relationship, and we get to know those people. Back years ago, I did the Miami Dolphins were in town to play the Atlanta Falcons. And I was asked by a guy who played for Miami named Irving Reighard. He said, I want you to come to the chapel that night. And so I had the opportunity to do the chapel, and this was when Don Shula was still their coach. And I was in the middle of writing a book, and I was really excited about getting to talk to Coach Shula. Because I'm one of those people, like a lot of you in the room, loyalty is a big deal to me. How many of you say loyalty is a big deal to you? How about raising your hand, all right? Loyalty is a big deal, right? So I'm talking to Don Shula, and I said, Coach Shula, I read something about you, and I just want you to verify it because it amazes me. And he said, all right. And I said, I have read that you have never fired an assistant coach. And here's what his response was. That's correct. Here's what I didn't expect. He said it probably cost me 2 or 3 Super Bowls. This is Don Shula. This guy's one of my heroes. I have a distant cousin, Bob Matheson, number 54, that played with the Dolphins, and they're in the 54 defense. And so I just always thought how remarkable that is that Don Shula never cut an assistant coach. But here he is looking at me and saying, yeah, and it probably cost me 2 to 3 Super Bowl opportunities. You see, leadership is not always about being somebody's best friend. And leadership is not always about, well, I've got to be loyal to a fault to where it can damage my team. Sometimes being that leader is one of the most difficult positions that you will ever find yourself in. And I want to help you with some of the ideas around leadership today. I heard people talking about on your team, why it's important to be able to have the right people there. And you'll hear me quote John Maxwell, and you'll hear me quote Zig Ziglar.